Where you guys see where I'm at? Out here by Division and Nashville, man. Just making a quick video to let you guys know. Appeal was successful. I got it back, man. So only one day, a lot faster than I thought, man. They said 2 weeks maximum, but I got the channel back monetized. Appreciate you guys, man. All the love you guys have shown me in the comment section. And the roasting too, man. I always like the roasting. The bus about to come, man. What was I about to say? You guys see this thing on, I think it's a publication called The Root. They were talking about trying to take down Vlad, bro. Trying to take down Vlad TV off of the internet due to being a culture vulture, man. I want to get you guys thoughts on this, man. What do you guys think? The culture vulture topic, man, is a very controversial topic. I'm probably going to finish this video when I get back to the crib because the bus is about to come. But, you know, I was getting accused of this back like 2015, 2017. After I stopped doing that top killer stuff, I didn't really get accused of it too much anymore, man. But, yeah, Vlad, man, they're trying to take him down off of YouTube, man. I don't know what they're going to do, but, you know, as far as boycotting or whatever else they might do. But, you know, people saying he's like, you know, making money off of starting beefs and getting guys to incriminate themselves and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. But the culture vulture thing, you know, everybody getting called out for that now, man. Like a lot of people that weren't before, especially when it comes to hip hop. I'm wearing what looks like a do-rag for this video. It's actually a helmet liner. It's not a do-rag. Actually, this sweat cap, man, this is pretty good in the summertime. But I'm wearing this to make a point. The Root, which is it's a popular like online black publication. They're coming for Vlad TV, man. So, you know, he's starting beef between rappers and basically just using the culture for profit. Talking about hip hop culture, that he's just profiting off of it and causing a bunch of damage to the culture at the same time. Like, what exactly makes somebody an appropriator of somebody else's culture? But the strict definition of it, okay, I don't think Vlad fits the strict definition of it as far as like what a culture vulture or a cultural appropriator actually is, because that's somebody, technically speaking, who profits off of a particular culture, okay, without accurately identifying the source. That's the key piece that a lot of people miss. Let me turn this light on here. Without accurately identifying the source, or with while incorrectly identifying the source. So somebody who says, for example, like, okay, let's say I start doing martial arts, okay, like Chinese martial arts. Okay, and I'm making money off of it. I'm making movies about, you know, kung fu and all this stuff. And I claim, as long as I'm just doing that, just doing martial arts and making movies and I can make as much money as I want off of that. I'm not a culture vulture yet until I say martial arts was invented by whites or, you know, Greeks or whoever. Like, until I incorrectly identify the source of that culture, that's cultural appropriation. By the strict definition of cultural appropriation, very few people actually are doing that. I've never heard Vlad TV get on any video and say, you know, Russian Jews invented hip hop. Like, I've never heard him say that, not one time. If he was doing that, he'd be a culture vulture and he'd be a cultural appropriator, but he doesn't. He's always given credit to black people for, you know, making that culture. And he acknowledges that he's profiting off of their culture while also helping a lot of black guys to make it. A lot of his interviews, you know, that's like one of the biggest launching pads for people's careers. Okay, platforms like his interviews, a lot of times, you know, they'll be doing maybe like a couple thousand views on a video or whatever. They get an interview on his page, and that instantly sends their views through the roof. So it's a synergistic relationship in that sense. Okay, now starting beef between rappers and getting guys to incriminate themselves. Getting guys to incriminate themselves, that just makes them like police. I mean, not literally police, but, you know, like, that makes them police. But there's a difference between being police and being a culture vulture. Starting beef between rappers, that makes him an instigator, right? That doesn't, but that an instigator is different than a culture vulture. Like, those are two different accusations. You guys understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a controversial topic, man. But let me get you guys feedback and opinions in the comment section, man. Do you think that the Root is right about this? There's a lot of pretty controversial debates going on right now online about, you know, about cultural appropriation and culture vultures in hip hop, because it's one of the biggest genres of music worldwide now, and there's a lot of people that are not Black American that are getting in on that. I've even heard, in some senses, like Black people from other countries, or Black people that aren't from the hood, being accused of being culture vultures in that sense. That one is even more controversial because there's a difference between culture and genetics, right? And so the question becomes like, okay, if I'm like Chinese, for example, but I'm adopted by a white family in America and I'm raised entirely by white people, and then I start, making Chinese music or doing Chinese martial arts, like, am I a culture vulture because I wasn't raised in that culture? Even though genetically I'm tied to that culture, I'm the same genetically as the people that invented that culture. Like, do I have to be raised in it? And then on the flip side of that, you have somebody like, for example, Eminem, who he's not genetically tied to the culture of hip hop, but he grew up around that. He's from the hood, like, that type of thing. That's like the opposite of that. So you got all these different experiences, different people that are various degrees of different races now in the United States, because the population of mixed people is going through the roof. Okay, it's going through the roof. Interracial marriage, interracial relationships is taking off, and so the demographics of America is changing. Mixed people are becoming almost like their own demographic lane now. Back in the day, 50 years ago, somebody like Drake or Mariah Carey or any of these like mixed art, J. Cole and Logic, any of these mixed artists, they would have been considered Black. They passed the one drop rule, they're Black. No questions asked. Like, that's the end of discussion. Today, that's all being brought into question. And that's all being challenged because, as the part of being Black in America is the experience, and there's a growing awareness that the experience of mixed people, especially today in 2024, is not the same as the experience of a dark-skinned Black person. Like, there's a lot of differences, especially the women, okay? Especially the women. This is one of the things that causes tension within the community, is that as somebody who's worked in all Black high schools on the West Side, there's a big difference, and this is the elephant in the room, between in the amount of attention that light-skinned mixed Black women get and the amount of attention that dark-skinned Black women typically get. Okay, I mean, the light-skinned girls, I mean, at least on the West Side, got a significantly higher degree of attention than the dark-skinned girls. I mean, they do. Like, they just do. And that, it creates tension. I mean, it just, like, I've heard dark-skinned Black women say that they won't go to the club or they won't go out to eat with their light-skinned friends because they know that the light-skinned chick is going to get all the attention from the guys. As the population of mixed people, continues to rise, and as time goes by, and I mean the races blend more and more, these things are getting more and more and more complex. I was telling my Black family, he and I were rolling together, and we were saying, like, people that are entirely one race like us in the future, that's going to be rare. Like, that's going to be rare. 1,000 years from now, or whatever, everybody's pretty much going to be mixed. So yeah, it's very interesting the way things are going, man. But yeah, the culture vulture thing, I mean, that's something that's something there's no right or wrong answer to it, and that's one of the reasons these debates can go on forever. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. But yeah, personally, I think if you're not stealing credit for the source of the culture, if you're not misappropriating the origin of the culture, you're technically not a culture vulture, okay? And this goes on with my own culture too. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, I'm Greek. So, I mean, in popular media, like, there's been a lot of movies made about Greece. Like, our culture is everywhere. The brand Nike, even Drake, he uses the owl. I think it's the owl of Athena, like from Greek mythology for his rap label or whatever. Fraternities, sports teams, the Titans, the Spartans. Rarely, I don't think there's been too many actual movies made about Greece where actual Greeks played the characters, but we never really gave a care. In most of these cases, the person looked like one of us. Personally, like, when people use our culture, or when people like reproduce anything from our culture, we love it. Like, we don't have any problem with it. I personally have never felt like this person's a culture vulture or felt offended or anything like that. As long as they're not like dissing us, I mean, that'd be different. But as long as they're not disrespecting us, like, I would never like have any problem with that or say it's cultural appropriation. Like, they can profit off of it as much as they want. I mean, the Olympics The Olympics makes like billions of dollars for multiple companies every 4 years. That was started by us, but we don't, and we rarely have seen a dime from that. But we don't care. I mean, so what? Like, this is everybody technically, according to the definition of culture vulture that some of these people are using, would be a culture vulture. Like, everybody everywhere uses other people's cultures all day. A lot of us don't realize it. Okay, a lot of these people that are like accusing white rappers or mixed rappers or whatever of cultural appropriation, they haven't done the research on, like, for example, basketball, okay, which was invented by a white Canadian soccer coach, and then look at the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, is anybody calling LeBron and Michael Jordan like culture vultures because they're playing a sport that was invented by a white guy? Like, we all use everybody's culture every day, man. Like, this is a cultural melting pot, especially in the United States. Unless you're part of like some remote isolated tribe in the Amazon or in Africa or something, you're only using things that your tribe invented all day long, then you fit these people's definition of culture vulture by what they're saying. So you guys let me know what you think down in the comment section, man. Very controversial topic. But I think we need to be careful about these accusations. But as far as Vlad, I don't know, man. I'm to be honest, I think the instigation and getting people to self-snitch, that is a problem, you know, which is, again, I was doing like foul stuff too, 2015, 2017, but that's one of the reasons I had to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if he keeps doing it, personally, I think the root has a point, because the instigation is that's a problem, because that can lead to people getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys will real life catch a body over stuff that just starts on some video, you know? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. It's your boy, Chicago News, with my motorcycle helmet liner on to celebrate motorcycle culture. I'm out.